Hey guys, it's not really early morning. It's like almost 11 and I have to be on the road by noon. No, I have to be on the road by 1 to get to Indy. 12:45. That sounds better. My ability to handle time on the weekends is really weird because it vanishes. 2 o'clock, I have Easter dinner with my adopted family. Um, huh. Okay, let's talk about this. This is a good concept. I'm just going to do this one about my adopted family. So just go back in time about 50 years. My mom, well, we'll go back a little bit further. My grandmother had one kid that she loved. That was my Uncle Larry. My grandfather had one kid that he loved, which was my Uncle Albert, where I got my name. And then there was my mom. And she went and lived with my great grandmother because my grandparents were very self centered people. Very nice way to put it. And then my Uncle Albert was killed in a car accident, a drunk driving car accident, when he was 16. So my mom carries that. And then my grandfather, shortly thereafter, committed suicide by hanging himself in the barn. And my mom has a lot of trauma from that because his suicide note had on it, "Thanks for my last meal," which my mom was supposed to make him lunch, and she had either blanked on it or had something else going on. So she carries all of that trauma, and then she is like, I don't know how to put it. She's like, home is more than a place. So for her to move into the house that I grew up in, she would go, literally, if dad wasn't there, she would have to stay at my grandmother's house because she couldn't be alone. So she has a lot of like that. It's very dark. So as kids, everything had to be about her because nothing had ever been about her. So if she wasn't feeling well, everybody had to feel bad. But every emotion she has, everything that is hers, she transferred to us in her head, even though it wasn't reality. So that was really obnoxious. And my dad grew up in a household where physical punishment was normalized. So, smack upside the head for doing something not quite as fast or properly was normal. So that's the household I grew up in. And then on top of this, we were expected to not be underfoot and be quiet, always. So we would go outside. And growing up on a farm, the main farm, we call it the pickle farm because the people that lived there before were the Pickles. The family was named Pickles. Was 80 acres, so a quarter mile by a half a mile. Then there was the Bremen's field, because basically it was a big field. And then next to that was Uncle George's. Uncle George's was a lot of woods and like 4 fields that slowly became one big field. And then the adjacent, but on the other side of it was called Fool's Creek, and it would flow when it rained sometimes. But just so that you have like a lot of swamp and lowland for the wooded section. So we would go exploring. We would just spend most of our summer and I spent every minute that I could outdoors to get away from this. And I had 3 sisters, one of which I really like, the one I'm okay with. And the other one, she's like my mom, very much a narcissist. It's all about her. So, yeah, that's my family. So my adopted family is my best friend, one of my best friends. I have a couple, Jeanette. Her and my soon-to-be brother-in-law, because they got engaged. And Jeanette told me that her backup plan was me, that we were just going to get married and live together. I said, there's no sex involved in that. She said, what do I care? I can take care of myself. And I'm like, I live there too. This would probably work. That's a sad thing to say too. But not sad. I said, yeah, you got it. So anyway, and then her mom and her daughter. Now, mind you, Jeanette's son, he's in the Air Force. He is smoking hot. I have to stay away from him. He's straight. He's got a girlfriend and baby. I'm just like, yeah, I've met this before, but it's all good. She won't hopefully see this. Sorry, Jeanette. Your son's hot. But yeah. So I do usually go up there for like Thanksgiving, Easter. I went up for Christmas. We had Christmas dinner. It's a lot of fun. They're good people. I usually take bourbon. And Raymond and I sit and drink bourbon with Coke Zero or Coke or whatever is available. And then just eat when it's time to eat. And I tell my stupid ass stories and everybody laughs because apparently I'm funny. I usually how I phrase that. And so when I say I'm funny, I got like something in my eye. Is if somebody says I'm really funny, looking, acting, smelling. And people get this weird look on their face, and I'm like, I recognize that I'm not bad looking. I recognize I have a pretty tight body. This I need to work on, but this is more like vanity. And yet I'm still standing here, and yet you're still watching, so I can't be that bad. So anyway, that's the adopted family situation. They're really cool people. They really are. And Jeanette lived like 2 blocks away from me and my ex-husband. And so, every once in a while she tells me stories about what my ex is up to. And I'm like, oh, God, I don't need to know. I didn't need to know any of that. When my ex put down my Great Dane that I brought home the week after our other Great Dane passed away, as a surprise because he was miserable, that hurt. I never heard anything from him. That was awesome. Good job, Don. The fact that he moved his new boyfriend in week after I moved out, or the week after I moved out, that was awesome. But whatever, life goes on. I just sit there and go, what the fuck? How is it that all of my exes can just walk out and go, here's a new person? And I spend 2 to 3 years working on me, trying to get back up to a level where I'm okay with being single and just not having a person. And I get to the point where I'm like completely independent, wave my little flag. Oh, I have a little flag in my head. It represents, I don't need this bullshit. And then somebody pops up. And then I invest in learning about them. And the fact that I've spent since November, December, January, February, March, April, 6 months, learning a new person every freaking week is crap. We're going to go with crap. But this wasn't supposed to be about that. This was supposed to be about my adopted family who, oh my God, I love them. And it's only like a couple hours and I have to be there. So I actually have to like shower, brush my toothers, and shave maybe. I don't know. I might be able to pass as human. I love you guys. I really do. Thanks for all the support. I appreciate it. Love you, dude. See ya.